In a few minutes, you'll hear from our president, but first, it's my pleasure to introduce the Dean of the College of Business, Dr. Kate Watland, who will present a special faculty award.
Good morning, everybody. This is my very first convocation here, and I'm so excited to be here. It's my honor today to announce the Lee Poxey Award for Innovative Practices in the Classroom. Mr. and Mrs. Larry Lee, established this award so faculty could expand their innovation in the classroom and connect students to real-life experiences. The faculty member is then to share the outcomes of their work, their innovative practices, and their connections with those across the Indiana Tech community. This year's recipient of the award is a very special and talented teacher. This teacher engages students in innovative practices in the classroom and asks the students then to reflect on their experiences to think about how they can improve their professional skills going forward. This faculty member also routinely takes students on real-world field trips to introduce them, again, to the practices that they'll face when they enter the workplace. One of the most recent ones was to Chicago's financial district. This faculty member connects students to regional businesses, seeks opportunities to develop new engagement strategies, and again, builds the students' networks. This year's Lee Poxey Award winner is Assistant Professor of Marketing and Management, Dr. Crystal Karn. Dr. Karn, would you please join us on stage?
It is now my honor to introduce our president, Dr. Carl Einoff, who has a very special faculty recognition to announce.
Good morning, everyone. Well, while it might be a little rainy and cloudy outside, the sun is certainly alive and well here in this room, and it's just wonderful to see all of your bright and shining faces as we begin the new academic year. Before the faculty recognition that I will do, I just want to recognize 3 members of our Board of Trustees who are here today. We have with us Bob Wagner, Trustee Emeritus. We have Trustee Jeffrey Paddock. Thank you for being here. And also Cheryl Hammond is also our faculty representative on the Board of Trustees. So at our convocation ceremony today, it's my privilege and honor to promote one of our faculty members to the highest rank, that of Professor Emeritus. I ask that Professor Martin Mansfield step forward. Dean David Ashelman will present Professor Mansfield with a certificate and the Professor Emeritus stole. Faculty members who are tenured or tenure pending and who have served the university for at least 20 years are eligible for emeritus status upon retirement. Recommendations from the Dean of the College, from the Vice President for Academic Affairs, and from the President go to our Board of Trustees. The Board of Trustees makes this most important and prestigious appointment to Professor Emeritus. Professor Mansfield came to Indiana Tech as an instructor in 1984 and retired from his full-time position in 2013. During his 30 years of full-time service, he was an active champion for the computer science degree and was instrumental in building the program and increasing the enrollment. Today, this degree has the largest enrollment in the School of Computer Sciences. Some of his notable accomplishments are as follows. 1 year after starting at Tech, he formed a student chapter of the ACM, which is the premier professional organization for the computer sciences. He was the first to establish teams for regional and state programming competitions. He brought the Cisco Networking Academy to Indiana Tech. To add flexibility to the traditional Bachelor of Science degree in computer science, he developed a Bachelor of Arts degree in computer science that provided more electives for students who wish to obtain a minor. As chair of the Tenure and Promotions Committee, he led the development of the first template to provide guidance to all tenure-track faculty when applying for tenure. Professor Mansfield is a recipient of numerous awards, including twice receiving Indiana Tech's Professor of the Year and twice receiving the Sigma Phi Epsilon Teacher of the Year. Professor Mansfield is a person of the highest integrity and has served as an admirable role model as a computer science professional. Former students frequently return to visit him and often remark how well he prepared them for a career in the computer sciences. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Professor Emeritus Martin Mansfield. So what a wonderful day for Indiana Tech as we open the 2017-2018 academic year. I'm excited to be here, and it's an honor to serve as Indiana Tech's 9th president. I came to Indiana Tech because I fully believe in our mission to provide students with a professional education, and I was immediately impressed with this great community of dedicated faculty, staff, and coaches. We work so hard and so well to prepare our students for the global 21st century society. You will notice that our mission statement is now posted all over campus on beautiful orange signs, and our mission statement describes what we do and why we do it. And students, I encourage you to read this statement and know that we are preparing you for a long and successful career and motivating you toward a life of significance and worth. Every employee on this campus is committed to our mission, our faculty, our coaches, our staff, everyone. And we are here to help you and to support you. Know this, your success is our success. Let me say that. Your success is our success. And later in this ceremony, we as a community will formally pledge our commitment to you. Indiana Tech was founded in 1930 by an entrepreneur and innovator named John Kalbflesh. And what I like about his story is that before founding Indiana Tech, he had already achieved great success in his career. He was the president of the International Business College. But he was the kind of guy that when he saw a problem facing society, he said, you know, I want to fix this. 1930 was the time of the Great Depression. The unemployment rate was over 20%, and yet there was a shortage of engineers in the Midwest who were needed to bring recovery to our economy. So in this time of despair, John Kalbflesh saw an opportunity. He formed a brand new college, a college with the mission to develop an accelerated engineering program designed to meet the requirements of industry and the rapid development in the engineering sciences. And so what impresses me about him is that he had a great vision and he made a great sacrifice. He left his relatively comfortable job and the financial security that came with it, and he and his wife Catherine went on the road recruiting students to come here all over the Midwest. And their dream eventually came true. He created the college he intended to build, and over the years since then, with great leadership, including the leadership of my predecessor, Dr. Art Snyder, John Kalbflesh's original vision has been transformed into this great comprehensive university where we are today, the Indiana Institute of Technology. Now, we all have a dream, just like John Kalbflesh had a dream, and students, your dream is worth the sacrifice. Perhaps you dream that you may enter a career so that you may provide for yourself and for your future family. Perhaps you dream about leading a positive, faith-filled life. Perhaps you dream about finding an opportunity that will continue to challenge you and to stimulate your mind. No matter what your dream is, you know it will take a sacrifice to get there. You're going to have to study hard to graduate from Indiana Tech. And along the way, you might have to work a part-time job. Some of you might have to work a full-time job. You may have to train hours in the weight room and at your team's practices, or you may have to spend hours with your academic coaches in the Office of Student Success. Whatever the sacrifices you make, and I know they will be many, it will be worth it in the end. My hope is that every one of our students here will achieve their dreams and that you will all graduate from Indiana Tech. So students, I ask that you engage with us. Look around at your fellow students, like really do this. Look around at each other, okay? Look at our faculty. Look at our staff and our administrators. Look at us. We're here for you. Your fellow students are here for you. This community is here for you. Engage with us. Join a student club. Attend activities on campus. Share one of your great ideas with the C3. Come visit our offices. Come visit my office. Come and say hello. Go watch your favorite Indiana Tech team compete. Go bowl in the rec center. Eat lunch at the student affairs table. Attend a church service in our chapel. Talk to Austin at the Wynn window in Cunningham. Visit the Career Center. Engage with us. And students, I ask that you excel in everything you do. Always do your best. Give it your all. We have so many great success stories at Indiana Tech, and I'd like to share a few with you from this past year. Shalinda Cobb and Cameron Owens won the National NSBE debate title this past year. Their faculty advisor was Dr. Susan McGrade. Our 8-member cyber defense team, coached by faculty member Matt Hansen, won their championship for the second year in a row. The #1 women's golfer in the NAIA is Courtney Dye, who graduated this past spring cum laude in biomedical engineering. Our women's track team won their first indoor team title in 2017, and all right, let's cheer. And our men's team won their 4th title in a row. They were the National Program of the Year, and they earned 94 All-American performances. These accolades come because we have students who simply want to excel and be the best at whatever they do. Students, I also ask that you extend yourselves. Get out of your comfort zone. Take a chance. Go beyond whatever you thought was possible. I can tell you from personal experience that every success I've had in my own life was the result of taking a chance, getting out of my comfort zone, doing something that most other people wouldn't do. And I'll give you a few examples. I quit a high-paying job when I was 27 years old to go back to graduate school to do a PhD full-time. My coworkers at the time thought I was nuts. But it led me to a career as a professor and as an academic administrator, and it's become my calling in life. I asked a young woman out when I was in college who was way out of my league. And I mean way out of my league. And I ended up marrying her. Now, yeah. Now, she'll tell you not right away. It took some convincing. And you know, I just left a very comfortable position at a place where I had been a professor and dean for 19 years. And that decision led me to you and to Indiana Tech. And I am so glad that I chose to extend myself to the great state of Indiana.
We are too.
So engage, excel, extend. This is how to be a warrior. And now that you're part of the community here, that's our expectation, that you be a warrior. So what do we say, Debbie? All right. So I want everyone to say it. Count to 3. 1, 2, 3. Whew. That sounded good. Now, you may notice, or maybe not, but you know, I'm wearing a rather generic gown up here. I don't have any of the presidential bling, okay? And while I obviously have the job, I have not yet been formally inducted as your 9th president. This will come later this year. The inauguration ceremony will be held on Saturday, December 2nd. And we did this because I wanted to take some time to get to know you, and especially our students. And I want to learn from you about where we will take Indiana Tech into the future. So on December 2nd, we will come together as a community and celebrate our great vision and our future together. And I hope to see you there. So one last word to our students. I know that each and every one of you will be successful because of the supportive community we have here at Indiana Tech. I wish you all the best this academic year. Good luck. God bless. Thank you.
Thank you, President Einoff, for your message. I'd like to now invite Jeffrey Duckman, who is a senior in mechanical engineering and an RA, to share student remarks with you.
Give me a second here. All right. Got it. All right. First off, I'd like to welcome the class of 2021 to their first convocation. There you go. You can clap for the freshmen. It's okay. I've had the pleasure of meeting so many of you this past week, and I'm excited for all the energy you've brought to campus so far. It is more contagious than you know. I encourage you to keep this energy with you for the rest of your time here at Tech. Bring it to class, even those horrible 8 a.m.s. Bring it to your practices, and bring it to each interaction you have with your fellow warriors every day. When you carry this energy with you everywhere you go, it acts as a catalyst for engagement in your tech community. Now, what do I mean by engagement in your tech community? Well, let's start with the opposite. In my sophomore year here at Tech, I managed to pull off straight A's in a difficult engineering program. Now up here speaking as a senior, I can say this seemingly amazing sophomore year is one I am the least proud of. I'll say that again. Straight A's is not what I'm most proud of. I noticed some rule from the professors here. I'll get to that in a second. While the GPA boost was nice, I realized that I didn't really grow as a person, and I most certainly was not engaged here at Tech. I wasn't a part of any student orgs. I had just ended my days as an athlete, and I had plans to transfer schools. Don't take this as me telling you not to shoot for good grades. Take it as an example on how to adjust your incentive for going to school here. Your incentive should not only be to receive a fancy piece of paper that says you're done. Your incentive should be to give yourself the ability to look back years from now and think, those are the best and most productive 4 years of my life. I got involved and grew emotionally and academically more than any other time in my life. Your good grades and your degree will come with it. On that note, seniors, I'm not sure if I'm a fan of the popular phrase, I'm just trying to graduate. Let's hold off on that for about another 257 days. Now, freshmen, you're looking at roughly 1,000 more days here at Tech. And boy, are you lucky. You have the opportunity and the privilege of making the most of every single one of them. Here are some ways to pass the learning curve, get engaged from day one, and make the most of your college experience. Number one, don't focus on being homesick and how you're not fitting in here. Focus on how you can make a home here at Tech. Get involved. Number two, as I said before, your incentive for going to this university should not only be just to receive a piece of paper and be done. See yourself being successful with your future career and your peer relationships, and inspire this vision in others. Number three, find your balance. Be present and focused in the classroom and towards your studying, but at the same time, remember there is no Making Friends 3600 class in room Z209. Know that nowhere on a syllabus will you find the learning objectives, get to know your next lifelong best friend, or discover your passions that drive you every day. There's a time for fun, and there's a time for putting your head down and working hard. Week before finals. But more importantly, there is plenty of time for both. And number four, that last piece of advice is hard. It's a unique challenge for every single student here. So failure will happen. When you are first trying this whole engagement thing, you will invite plenty of it. What matters is that you endure it, and eventually you survive it. Invite it, endure it, survive it. Number five, last but not least, join organizations. This was my first step out of my state of disengagement during my sophomore year that I discussed earlier. I knew I loved working with people, so I applied to be an RA. I felt I was missing a close group of friends I could call brothers, so I joined Greek life here at Tech. Find the emotional and physical gaps in your college life and fill them by participating. Everyone can play a role they love here at Indiana Tech. It might take a while to find this role. It took me almost 2 years. I encourage you to stay busy. Staying busy made me stay here. I wasn't thinking of transferring anymore and not having a good time at college because I was too busy thinking of an event to do for my residents or finding a philanthropy event for my fraternity. I started to find a sense of belonging at Tech. I found that as late July rolled around each summer, I was excited to come back. Now I'm excited for the next student life event, the next Tech game to go watch. I dare say I'm excited for senior project. When your body is in motion and you're getting involved, your mind stays in motion, and you simply can't afford the time to dwell on what's going wrong. Find your role and bring positive energy to it every day. Thank you, and have a great year.
Wasn't that phenomenal? Good job, good job, good job. Now I have the pleasure of introducing the Dean of the College of General Studies, Dr. Joshua Francis, to the lectern.
This is a special year at Indiana Tech. It is the first year that both our faculty and our matriculating students will participate in an annual pledge. The Convocation Pledge is an age-old tradition in which university students, faculty, and staff pledge academic integrity and promise to fulfill their responsibilities to both themselves and each other. The ceremony is a rite of passage that marks students' formal entry into the university community. Convocation is a calling together of the university community and marks the formal opening of an academic year. In this ceremony, we welcome new students and recognize our new senior class. To our faculty and staff, through this pledge, you are symbolizing your commitment to being a member of the Indiana Tech community, supporting our students, and helping them to be their best, and promising students to give them your best, always. Will the faculty and staff please rise? Now, before we get started, I want to make sure that when you respond loud enough to impress our students. So Debbie, can you give an example of this?
We are.
Thank you. So for the first response will be we are. The rest will be we will. Faculty and staff, are you willing to help these students learn and to mentor them on their journey?
We are.
Very nice. Will you strive for academic excellence and continuous improvement in all programs?
We will.
Will you strengthen and build upon Indiana Tech's commitment to relationship-based education?
We will.
Will you strive to attract, develop, and retain dedicated and excellent teachers, staff, and administrators who are committed to making a significant difference in the lives of our students and the community?
We will.
Will you integrate theory and practice through course content combined with real-world experience?
We will.
Will you emphasize ethics and integrity in all that you do?
We will.
Will you emphasize professional development and lifelong learning?
We will.
And lastly, will you evaluate each decision and ensure it will have a positive impact on students?
We will.
Thank you. Faculty and staff, you may be seated. I now invite Jeffrey Duckman back to the podium to lead the student pledge.
All right, we got some competition, guys. Let's see if we could be louder than them. All right, so your responses are I am for every single one. Okay, so students, please stand and respond as indicated to each of these statements from our core values and mission. All right, here we go. They are enthusiastic for us. Let's be enthusiastic for them. I know it's early. Here we go. The Indiana Tech community believes in respect. As a member of our community, are you prepared to treat all your fellow community members fairly and equitably? Decent? Decent? The Indiana Tech community believes in commitment. As a member of our community, are you prepared to affirm your unceasing dedication to your education here at Indiana Tech and as a lifelong learner? There we go. That's what I'm talking about. The Indiana Tech community believes in honesty. As a member of our community, are you prepared to demonstrate truthful behavior in an open environment at all times? The Indiana Tech community believes in integrity. As a member of our community, are you prepared to adhere to the moral and ethical principles in and out of the classroom consistent with our mission and core values? The Indiana Tech community believes in passion. As a member of our community, are you prepared to develop a burning desire to participate in fulfilling our purpose, mission, and vision in which learners of all ages strive to gain a professional, career-focused education that prepares you for active participation, career advancement, and leadership in the global 21st century and motivates you towards a life of significance and worth? Thank you, students. You may now be seated.
I think we need to do this. Debbie, what are we supposed to say?
Go Warriors!
Go Warriors! Oh, do it one one more time. It's unplanned, I know. 1, 2, 3. Go Warriors! Yeah. Yeah. Nope. Yeah. And now I'd like to invite our Vice President of Student Affairs, Dr. Daniel Stoker, to the lectern.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Seated immediately behind the faculty are members of this year's senior class. In 2014, we started a new tradition at Convocation, giving out lapel pins in order to assist presenting with a professional image. We're tweaking that tradition this year to help identify the seniors as members of our community who are progressing towards commencement in May. Pins are going to be coming through the aisles and pass through the rows. Please take one as they come through. If a senior is seated in the bleachers, please come to Student Affairs after Convocation. The Indiana Tech mission statement proudly describes us as a career-focused institution, preparing you for the job you want following graduation. These lapel pins are intended to help you proudly display pride in your institution and designate you as a member of the Indiana Tech family as you establish your career. When you're not wearing this pin this year, you might want to display it someplace as a reminder to challenge yourself of the goal of commencement and that future good job. This marks the beginning of your last year in college. So it's time to finish off that bucket list of goals and things you want to experience before. We look forward to seeing you proudly wear these at commencement in May as we celebrate you. So enjoy your senior year, class of 2018.